if I screw this up, I have the capabilities of redoing it. Don't want to, but I do have the capability of redoing it. Okay, welcome back to a new episode of Gordon's Garage. This episode's going to be multi-vehicle. It's not going to be just the bike, but I am going to do some bike stuff. I took the lids off this because I rushed the paint on the inside of those bags, and when I put the lids on, the little yoga mat that I cut out and put around the rim, yeah, that kind of stuck. The paint was still a little wet, still a little sticky, so that was a no-no. What to do on the bike? I got to tune the carburetor, and I need to put oil in the forks, that's for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this hole a little bigger, put me four holes total. And I've got some switches over here I picked up. I'm just gonna fill them up, and I bought some switches. They're black with and a little LED. That's really cool, and they just fit in a rectangle hole. So I'm going to put those in the dash so I'll have accessory lights. I could put some LED underglow or something really 90s-ish in there. And so what did I say? I'm going to tune the carburetor. I'm going to put oil in the forks so the front end won't be as bouncy. And I've got to address a little bit of a leak on this transmission cover on this side. I didn't put any gasket sealer. I just put a gasket. So I might need a gasket sealer. There's one spot right in the bottom center. It's a really thin spot. And on this side, it turns out what's leaking is not the gasket on the main cover. It's this right here. This little round cover's leaking. It's got an O-ring. And I took a gasket out of there and put an O-ring in because it had a groove for an O-ring. I don't know what to do on that because that's supposed to be removable. And if I put gasket glue in there, it won't be removable. But right now, what I'm going to do, this is the main thing about this video. We're going to see, I don't know if y'all guys know about Poppy's Patina. It is a bottled stuff that you can buy out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And basically, you can take a vehicle like this Volkswagen Bug, sand it a little bit, and just, with a rag, a clear coat over that patina. And it was, secure it for a long time. And I started looking at it, and there was a little clip, and I noticed that it's a two-part. It's not just one jug. It's two-part you mix together. And I realized they're just mixing up clear coat and applying it with a rag. Well, heck, I got clear coat right here. This is clear coat. 4 parts of clear coat to 1 part activator. This is the activator. Yeah, you just mix those two together and apply it with a rag? Well, anybody can do. They somehow snuck it on you that you're actually buying clear coat and just mixing it and applying it with a rag. And it's actually genius to apply it this method on that type of patina, because to tape it all off and do all this fancy stuff to spray it right without getting weird orange peel and stuff, when you just mix it and put it on a rag, and just wring out the rag and just get one little layer of clear coat. Well, geez, that's going to be a little bit easier to apply, especially in those scenarios. And in this case, the bike, I don't want to tear it all apart and tape it all off and do all. I can literally just take a small rag and just apply clear coat where I want it. So, yeah, that's what I want to do. This thing, that thing, and the bags and the tank, I'm going to sand down and get through the black paint, and I'm going to get into the next layer of paint. Some of it's burgundy, some of it's gray primer. Nevertheless, I'm going to get down to the primer, and then I'm going to apply clear coat to it. So, am I just going to shoot for this and hope not to break the bank? I'm going to test it on my truck. I got a section of hood. Some of the clear coat's missing, and I just sanded it. I don't care about this truck. It could fail epically and be like, so what? So I'm going to mix up just a little bit of that stuff. I'm going to apply it to the hood of the truck. Let's go look at what the hood looks like now. Okay, so this section right here, I have sanded. Yep. And the rest of it I'm not going to do. I'm just going to do this one section, just that one part. And I'm going to see how it turns out, because you can see where I sanded up here. It was like this. This is kind of rough. I just sanded it down a little bit, make it a little smoother. And then I'm going to wipe it down with that clear coat. Let's see what happens. Okay, funny tidbit. When I was doing the brakes in the last video, I mentioned that one of the brake pads were missing. And so I had a set of new ones. And so this is the odd man out. I had one extra pad. I put both new ones on that one side. It's a really good brake pad. It's nice and thick and everything. So I was missing a brake pad. But I just now scrambled around and found in this pile of bolts and stuff that came with the bike. It was a parts bike. It's a basket case. And I was missing a bunch of bolts and stuff and a brake pad. Well, I found an extra brake pad, but I don't think it goes to a Harley Davidson. So this poor guy's missing a 10-speed bicycle brake pad. I think that's hilarious. I got some missing parts and a couple of parts that don't even go to this kind of a bike. Motorcycle, bicycle. Hilarious. All right, I am back at it next morning. So I'm trying to type some loose ends, some things that, catastrophes that happened yesterday that was unexpected. One is I have broken my headlight. The face of it just shattered. The backside feels like glass, but it's not. Maybe it is, I don't know. Anyways, it's got a little bulb in it and the bulb still works, that's good. The other thing I did was I have the Buell and I pulled this headlight out of it. Someone spray painted it, which doesn't bother me. I can take some paint remover and get that paint off there. It is a Harley Davidson one. It's got a little barn shield right there. Yeah. But the backside is a multiple bulb kind of thing. It looks like this. But someone has wired these little things in it so that they can be plugged into a regular headlight harness. But it doesn't fit this style bucket at all. And that's what I have on the Harley. So I need to source a new headlight. Yeah, great job, Gordon, breaking the headlight, taking it out of there. I fumbled it on the floor. The other thing I'm doing is I'm researching some other stuff. So this morning, let's take a look at the truck hood and the clear coat on that. And it seems like it's made it glossy. It looks better. It kind of does preserve the patina. There's a few spots there I can get where you could see where the paint clear coat has been missing. So yeah, it'll preserve the look of the patina. But also looking at it, you can see little streaks in it. And those streaks are from the rag. So the clear coat, that is, I think, exactly what Poppy's patina is. It's just clear coat that they are using for commercial use, for regular cars. But they're selling it in a bottle that you apply with a rag. Now I got to say that loosely. It's not a rag. They have applicator pads, and it's a sponge that's covered in a cloth, and that cloth is really neat. It's not a microfiber. It's something. It's different. It's different texture of material. Maybe it's a fleece or something. I don't know. But all I did was I took a piece of old t-shirt sleeve and I rolled it up and I tried wiping on this clear coat, and the clear coat streaked a lot. I had a lot of where the clear coat was tall in a long line, and it made lots of streaks, like brush strokes. And so I was like, I noted that, and I was like, how could I eliminate that? One, the applicator pad's got to be different, and two, there's also I could thin out the clear coat, make it more like water, so it doesn't leave the streaks and pile up in those straight lines. It will lay flat easier. So that's another thing. Or in this trash bag hanging here behind me is about 7 paint guns. I could just pour it in a paint gun and spray it. It comes out flat. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go ahead and sand on these things. And this is the scary part, because your patina depends on your ability of sanding and how hard and how light you sand. And I don't know how to do that. Never done it before in my life, and I'm about to try. So yeah, I'm going to try and sand on some of this stuff. And I'm gonna try to get down just through the black to the primer coat. And on the side of the saddlebags here, I sprayed that burgundy and then put the decal on. So there's not a primer coat immediately after the black. It's gonna be burgundy, then I'll get into the primer coat. This could get sketchy. It could turn out really bad. It could look really ugly. And man, it's all in your opinion on where and how hard to run the sandpaper until it gets to the point where you're like, yes, this is perfect, now stop. And how do I know to do enough? Keep sanding, get more splotches showing through. When do I stop? When do I do too much? I'm thinking I need to do something that doesn't show. Don't do the front fairing or the tank. Those show the most. The side bags, those show the most. I'll wait and get a feel for it and then hit those high visual things that are out there further than the rest. So that just leaves the front fender or the back fender or the tank. The tank kind of shows. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. A little nervous. Maybe it's one of those things you just do and say, don't care. Before I get to sanding, there's one other thing I just thought of and needed to consider, and it's on the gas tank. So if your eagle-eyed viewers spotted, you had seen that the gas tank has a center console thing, and in the middle of that center console thing is a little place for a dash pad. And I'll go show you the original one that I pulled off this bike. It was glued on partially. It's right here. Yeah, this thing sat in the middle. It's aluminum, little thin aluminum pad, and it's got this padded little plastic, I don't know, and it probably had some kind of insignia stuff in that little silver plate area there. Anyways, it needed a cover of some type, and I looked on Amazon. There's 1,200 different covers you can buy for that. There were 4 bolt holes. That little cover didn't have bolt holes. It was glued on, but there were 4 bolt holes, and I was like, I'm going to use those bolt holes. So I did, and I put a burgundy piece of sheet metal on there, and it matches the burgundy on the dash. Same paint. Well, I'll throw pictures up here. This is the bike with that plate on there, and I was like, it's just a little too much burgundy in the middle of all that. I think I need to dial it down, and I'm trying to figure out how I was going to dial it down. I was like, I need to add black to it. And so last night I got on my little computer at home and cut out some decal to fit onto that plate, and that's when I got kicking around some ideas. I don't know what to put on there. Let's make something. And since the bike has a Star Wars theme and I have my logo thing, I was like, let me figure out something. So those of you that know Star Wars knows the Death Star has light panels on the walls in the hallways of the Death Star. And those light panels are this texture, this weird, neat little pattern. Anyways, I wanted to go with it. I thought that'd be cool. Neat little Star Wars touch there. And so you can probably see here, we've got the decal I cut out. And then you can see when I peel away the parts that I don't want to keep. And I left my logo in there. Took me a while, but I got it in there. And then I decided to put it on that panel. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. And I needed to see it on the tank in order to see whether it dialed it down or not. So here we go. Let's look at it on the tank. There we have, it's just sitting on there. It's fine. But it did. It dialed down the burgundy. And now we have, it broke up a little bit. Yeah, I really do like the pattern on it and everything. I think that's cool. So that's going to do that. So now back to where we started here. Now I'm about to sand on this tank in areas to get white to show through. And I'm like, how will that look? Because I know I sprayed the sides with burgundy and there's not white underneath there. It's primer. There's going to be primer up here on the top side. So somewhere here, we're going to have a feathering of colors. We're going to have the black blend down to a layer of burgundy on the sides and then blend down to the primer layer. And I've got to be very careful on some of these, especially on these edges here and there, that edge. I'm going to burn through straight down to the metal or the fiberglass or whatever's underneath this paint. So when sanding, I'm going to use a really small, like 1,000 or 2,000 grit sandpaper and take my time. Yeah. So yes, you can see where the gasoline spilled and did a number to the Krylon spray paint, which is actually kind of cool. I like it. Yeah. So now what we're looking at is a mix of a nice smooth glossy finish to we're going to have patina look, and then we're going to have a beautiful seat, that brand new seat that goes right next to that tank. And I'm trying to vision how's this going to look with patina on this tank next to those two things. I just don't know. I don't know how it's going to look. It might be weird. I think I'm just overthinking it. That might be it. So this is where Gordon starts doing this rational thinking of, well, I painted it to this point at all on my own. If I screw this up, I have the capabilities of redoing it. Don't want to, but I do have the capability of redoing it. So that gives me a little more confidence in that fear of, I might mess this up. Well, I can redo it. I have the ability. So that's where we're at. Let me do my stuff on my things, and let's see how this turns out. Let's take a look at some wet paint. The clear coat is doing good. It's glossing over real nice. I like everything so far. How do y'all like it? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't care. So a lot of the patina on this one is only going to show behind the passenger seat here and down along these sides. This part of the fender is completely hidden up in the bike. So natural patina, that wouldn't get any sun bleach where this would. So that's why I kept it to just the rear end of that. Let's take a look at that tank. Whoo, glossy tank. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but yeah. I wished I would have burnt more in the Harley Davidson, but that's okay. It's super smooth. It's got a little bit of orange peel maybe here and there. But with the patina, you really can't see any of it. Yeah. It looks completely different wet. So this is the back of the bag, and this far side right here is going to be against this edge right here. So I was trying to match this patina, the amount of patina, with the rear fender-ish. Yeah, and the same thing with that one. This far side over here is going to be up against that side. Yeah. Now on this one, the Vader did get some bleed through here. I did real good. I got in the middle of this helmet, and right here his eyebrow a little bit. I really dig that part. And this one I did as well. It got a little bit of, it looks a little bit aged. I like it. I like it a lot. Last two pieces are hanging. Yeah, yeah. This is the top side here. This is the front where the exhaust runs on the left side of the bike, and this is under the battery here, and the oil feed. Yeah. What do y'all think? I gotta let this dry. I need to shut this door before too much dirt blows in here. Now, where do we stand with the carburetor? I've got the carburetor back together. Yeah. I don't know how to do the little linky thing up in the corner to a video that really helped me out. I did end up going into town to Southern Cycle. James there, he is amazing. He knows when he says something a certain way, it is. You don't even have to doubt him. He'll tell you the truth. He's never steered me wrong. Everything he said. So he told me, I wrote it down. Your intermediate, I can't even say the word. It's the tall jet, like that one at my thumb. That one, if you've got this Evo motor, 89 model Evo motor, you've got stock exhaust, and you've got a filtered intake, then here's your settings. 0.028 for that intermediate jet. The main jet is 0.068, and that will get you right on. That's what he told me. So that's what I put in. The other thing he told me was this screw right here. Yeah, that one. 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 turns. I got it there. And he's like, you usually just, that's good. That's all you got to do. So I know he wouldn't steer me wrong. I know he's got some great knowledge. I love talking to him. Now, headlight, I broke it earlier. I don't know if I told y'all that. I've got this new headlight here. I got there, and I went and picked up a brand new petcock. I noticed the petcock was seeping out just a little bit. So what I think's happening is the fuel finally loosened up some of the gummy stuff, and it started to dilute it, and it started finding ways out. And I was like, I'm not going to play with this thing anymore. The other thing I was having problems with was the lever to turn it on and off. I had to use pliers. It was that tough. So time for a new petcock. And that comes with a new filter on the top of it, that part. And that filter is going to help me again. It's probably going to help me a lot. So headlight took care of. I've got the petcock going. The only thing I haven't tied up in this video is those forks, getting oil in them. So if you can see here, I've got me a funnel, and I've got some suspension oil, some oil for your forks. And I took that top bolt off. Let's see if I can get you in there. Can you see? There's a bolt that goes on the top of that. and it looks like this with a little seal washer. And I've pulled that off and I poured some down in it, and it takes it a minute to make it on down, but it goes on down. So I've got to get some more oil in both them forks. I don't know how much is in there. I have no clue. I know it holds more than this specified amount, but you're not supposed to put more than too much or whatever. But then again, you're not supposed to be just bare minimum to where the fork plunger inside gets air. So having a little more is better than less. So I'm just shooting in the dark here and just pouring some in till I'm thinking, let's try that, and then come back and try it and put more in. So I'm gonna put some more oil in that, and then soon as this clear coat dries, it might be 3 days. It might take a minute. The hood, there's a couple spots on the hood still tacky, and that was done yesterday. So, I might not be able to put these things on tomorrow. I might have to wait. It's not that big a deal. I can wait. I just got to be patient. So till tomorrow, we'll find out if that stuff dried or not. Okay, we're out here the next morning. Everything's still glossy. I definitely see little speckles on the top of some of this stuff. Yeah, let me turn the camera around and let you get a look at it. Whoo, look at the sun reflect off the top of that. Yes, can y'all see all the speckles in that? So I'm gonna touch the tape here. Oh, this stuff's pretty dry. Yeah. I think I can handle this stuff today. Oh, I don't know. It might need just a little bit more time. No, I think some of it might be dry. Yeah. Okay, so I need to reassemble my bike. Let's get this on. Get the tape off. A few spots that has tape, and reassemble. All right, people, it's time. Just last clip that y'all got to see was early morning. It is now 1-ish, 1:30-ish, and the bike is no longer on the table. Yes, I had the bags and all the plastic and the fenders all on sawhorses where I have clear coated them, and I sincerely believed I was coming in here and getting tacky stuff, and I wasn't gonna be able to touch it, but it was all solid, really solid. And I will quit blabbing, and I will let you see the bike. You ready to see it? It's right here in front of me. Yeah, it's right there. Here we go. Turn your knee around. Here. Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay. This is your chance. Get in the comments. Tell me, should I have not patinaed it? Patinaed no good? Look at the patina. Right down there with the patina. Okay. What are you thinking? A little much? Not enough? Need some more? I don't know. The only way I will know is if you tell me. Get in those comment sections. Yeah. Yes, it is back together, all in about 5 hours. We'll say that. So, man, What's left? What's next? What I gotta do? Not a lot. One of the things I need to do, first of all, is I need to thank my brother-in-law, Bob. He donated me this windshield, and I have had to trim it down like the last one and drill some holes, but it goes in there real nice. It's not cloudy at all, and it's got the extra little whoopee on it to help get the bugs over my head. And yes, thank you for that. What else? So I need to put fuel in the gas tank. That's got to be to run down the road. What did I do? So there was a leak on this primary side. There's an O-ring. O-ring didn't seat good. It was kind of out of its groove, allowing it to leak. So yeah, so I went with a gasket. So I turned around and exchanged it out for a gasket. We'll see how that works. I did put fluid in the forks, and yeah, much better response. All the bags are on, everything's on. What else did I need to do? I still got the switch to put in, the dashboard way down low. I haven't put those in. And I need to check on throttle response. So tuning the carburetor. I put those jets in. I dialed in the air mixture screw thing up in the top, just like I was instructed. I haven't started this thing up yet. I'm sure it's gonna run fine. But what I was having problems with on the first ride was the mid throttle. As I give it some gas, it would kind of, it wasn't doing right. So there is a another screw on the far right side that I'm gonna have to adjust to get it in a sweet spot. And I think that's all I needed. Yeah, put some fuel in it, tiny little bit of carburetor tuning, and just ride. The next couple things I am going to do to this thing, other than add the switches to the dashboard, the speakers, they need speaker covers. I don't have them, and I'm looking for material to make them out of. Don't know if that's a thing either, but I'll keep checking. I'll keep looking. There's not much more to do to this bike other than read your comments in the comment section, how horrible you think this is, how good you think it is. All I can say is it's the first time I've ever tried to do a forced patina, sanding these things down. And man, it's just one of those things. I don't know how much to do, how little to do, but this is where I ended up. And it's glossy now. And I will tell you one thing, once you gloss over anything with clear coat, it immediately becomes better. I don't care if it's patina or if it's a beautiful metal flake, whatever. As soon as you put that glossy on, it changes everything dramatically. Wow. I am ready to ride. I'm ready to ride. I need to start getting some miles on this bike so I can depend on it as a daily, and there's only one way to do that. Put fuel in the tank and let's go. Man. All right, it's time for me to start some riding. Y'all have a good weekend.